So, another little bit of Leeds United news has emerged today, and that is the fact that Matteo Joseph is apparently demanding his exit from the club. Now, sorry, I've accidentally flashbanged myself. This is an emerging bit of news as I'm recording this. Effectively, I was in the middle of making a curry, and then I discovered that Daniel Farke had mentioned that he was trying to force his way out. So, I'll run you through exactly what's been said so far, what's been going on, various bits and bobs. It'll be nice. And hopefully you enjoy. This is going to be a sort of like video length stream, so fairly short. So, specifically, Baron Cross tweeted out that Daniel Farke says Matteo Joseph has asked for a transfer. He was expected to be in Germany, but has stayed in the UK. I think that everyone was sort of expecting this one to have happened, especially since he wasn't in Sweden, and Willie Gnonto was, and Brendan Aronson was coming back from international duty, and it all kind of added up in the direction of there's going to be a move for Matteo Joseph. However, a lot of people weren't entirely certain what was going to have happened with all of that, because we didn't have the specifics on why it would have gone on, because the way that I've approached this so far, and looking at it from as objective a perspective as I possibly could, was that, in essence, Matteo hadn't done enough to deserve to force a move, which might come across as a little bit harsh, but I think it's pretty effectively fair. Matteo Joseph started last season as our chosen striker, the guy that was playing up top, and that is not a bad role for him in the slightest. It was a pretty good spot to be in, and if he was able to score goals, he would have properly made himself a big part of the club. He would have been a significant part of a promotion squad, and that's in reality what you kind of want to be if you're a young, upcoming footballer that is trying to put your authority into the game and really claim a spot. However, didn't proceed to do that. Ended up knocked out of the starting 11 by Joel Piroux. We hit the point around Blackburn Preston kind of time where if we had a striker coming off the bench, it wouldn't be Matteo Joseph anymore. It would instead be Patrick Bamford, who would return from injury. And that felt like it was a bad sign for Matteo, who had to really sort of force his way back into the squad. And he didn't successfully do that, really. He didn't, off the top of my head, start a match after that point because he just hadn't really made himself worthy of the start. Thank you for subscribing, Dudley Richards. That is a fair point. When he's on his game, he can be a fox in the box. But it's a confusing one for me. I think if you're a player, actively forcing a move is not good. Actively not attending a training camp is not good. All you do to other clubs is signal that you are someone that, if it comes to it, I'm just going to not bother showing up to training to try and get my own way. And that's not really a trait that you're going to want if you're a football club looking to sign a player. In terms of clubs that are potentially looking at signing Matteo Joseph, the significant names that are hovering around are Real Betis, which is where Junior Firpo has gone, and Celta Vigo, which is another reasonably good side. My worry around this, if you are Matteo Joseph, is that you are going to a club that is looking for someone to start for you. For example, Real Betis, the reports last week came out saying that Boya Iglesias would need to leave in order for Matteo Joseph to come in because they wouldn't really have the salary cap. Which, fair enough, that makes sense. But that says that they're looking to sign a starting striker. And for me, Matteo is not that, and Matteo cannot be that, because I kind of agree with Scally. When it comes to it, when push comes to shove and you end up needing to win games of football, Matteo Joseph just hasn't been putting the ball in the back of the net. He's not been good enough. Which is a shame for us, because we didn't get to experience him being a good footballer, because he just didn't have that in his game. And it's also a shame for Matteo, because I think when he goes over there, he's going to find that he doesn't have the impact that he thinks he's going to have. In terms of what a move could look like, what has recently been discussed is Leeds rejecting loan offers from specifically Real Betis with options to buy. For me, if you are a footballer in this position, as Matteo Joseph is, you can't realistically rely on a loan-to-buy deal. Or at least a loan with an option. If it's a loan with a certainty and it's an obligation, sure. But I think if you're Matteo right now, the last thing that you can feasibly do is go out and come back thinking, you know what, this is completely fine. Next season, I'm going to do a Jack Harrison and find my way back into the squad. No, because you've effectively gone on strike. And that will completely destroy your chances of a return to the club. And I will be completely honest with you, Leeds United at the moment aren't struggling without him. So, on this specific note, who do we think we can get in? Muniz. There is a chance of Muniz because Fulham are looking at signing another forward, which means that the door will open. When it comes to whether he's better than Metcha, I don't think so. Better than Piru, I don't think so. Better than Bamford, there's a question mark, and Bamford is leaving anyway. And when it comes to the specific level of the club when he's not here, we played another friendly today. We played against Manchester United at the weekend. We drew with them, not too bad. We played against, let's have a quick look, SC Verl today. And we beat them fairly handily. Like, I'm going to have a quick look through these highlights because I've not seen them myself. But we did pretty damn well. First goal, not complaining. Joel Piru, excellent finish into the top corner. Not something I can personally see Matteo Joseph doing. Piru, with a penalty. Maybe he can score a penalty. I don't know. We've never seen Matteo Joseph taking penalties. But in addition to that, a lot of the game now is specifically around movement. And he's not the kind to make that run to the near post, draw a centre-back and leave space for Willy Gnonto. In essence, I feel like Matteo is someone that would have struggled next season anyway, and we're looking to sign another number 9. The perfect world for him in terms of also Metch's first goal for Leeds United, wonderful. But the perfect world for Matteo Joseph having any future at Leeds United was via potentially a loan, maybe, and hope that something works out. That's not going to be the case now. It looks like it's going to be a permanent exit because he's not even bothered to show up to a training camp, which for me is a sign that he's bombing himself out, which is not what you need to do if you're a young and potentially promising player trying to grab a little bit of control over your own career. Thank you, by the way, Ricky. And is Farke changing his system? I think so. I think we're going to 3 in midfield, which is why we'll be more reliant on a centre-forward, which is where I don't think Matteo Joseph necessarily fits anymore. And you're right, he didn't properly recover from that very, very early miss against Burnley. I'll be honest, I don't think he recovered from much that went wrong for him, which was quite a lot. Anyway, as I mentioned, this was going to be a relatively short stream. I don't have much time right now. I currently have a curry on the hob that I'm hoping doesn't boil off too much sauce, which is a fun little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly save something over there. Don't you think we need a creative 810? I think we could do with one, but I don't know. Disgusting behaviour from a player who hasn't proven he can do it at championship level. I think it's a case of he's seen that his career isn't going the way he wants and he's doing whatever he can. It's a step that makes it impossible for him to return, for me. Not bothering showing up to a training camp, game over. And it's sad, but that's the route that he's chosen. Anyway, I have to go and eat a curry now. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the stream. If you haven't popped a like on it, by the way, I'd hugely appreciate that. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Also wonderful. Or become a channel member where you can get all of the highlights from the Creator Cup that I've condensed into a short video now. I'm going to redirect you all over to Joe Wainman's stream right now. What I would like you all to spam in there is, or let's have a think. Something a little bit like this. There we go. Captain Wainman. Go be. That'll do. We're going a little bit boaty. Captain Wayman, Joe B. Raid all aboard. Anyway, I'm going to dip. I've got something to eat. It was a butter chicken. It should be absolutely delicious. And Lockie does deserve a shout out. It was very, very nice. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed. And I will see